Today we're catching some sun and waves with Linda, a QHS admin whose life is as vibrant and refreshing as a seaside breeze. What currents brought her to the sunny shores of the quantum shift? Let's surf behind the scenes to see the waves she's been riding.
Hello, I'm Linda, and this story is about a petite, sensitive, high-energy Texas girl who was somewhat of a tomboy. I grew up in a neighborhood full of boys, and so that's who I played with growing up. I had skinned knees all the time and was always barefoot. I remember we were always into mischief, and one day I took off on an older neighbor's bike who had handbrakes, and I was only used to the pedal brakes, so I wasn't sure how to stop the speed as we were on a downhill street, and of course I crashed, and luckily I was not injured, but this is how we, played. We were always doing something. It was creative, and one night we were all sitting in my front yard and taking turns tossing a tennis ball across the street as maybe a vehicle would drive by. Now, when it came my turn, of course, I tossed the ball too hard, and I hit the car, and you guessed it, it was a police car. So I knew that no one was going to take the rap for me, so I had to confess that I had thrown the ball. And, well, that was the end of that escapade for the night. I also remember spinning on an inner tube and being flung across the room and fracturing my wrists. Well, you get the picture. I thought I was keeping up with the guys as best I could. Hello. I'm Linda, and I come to you from the past, the 50s. I was born in Texas. Both of my parents were born in Texas. My father is of German heritage, and he was gentle and kind and creative, and he had a cute sense of humor, and he worked 6 days a week. He was stationed in Pearl Harbor during the bombing, and I recently came across all of his military awards and medals, which I do plan to frame in honor of his service. My mom was of English, Irish, and French heritage. She was a stay-at-home mom. She never got her driver's license. She loved to throw parties. She was a good cook, and I think that she would have made a wonderful grammar teacher. Now, as I grew up, she had difficulty with weight gain, and it became very serious at one point, but she did make a determination that it was going to be handled properly, and so she did begin to lose that weight, which was a good thing. Both of my parents passed away at around 100 years old. My sister was 2 years older than I was. She grew up shy, and she did not enjoy academics in school, so she married early. I had fun in school. I found academics easy for me. I had my driver's license at age 14, and I was often out visiting school friends. I was energetic and active, and as I mentioned, I was a bit of a tomboy. My activities were not limited to, but included modeling for local boutiques, singing, dancing, acting in school, plays, cheerleading, drill team, horticulture, animal rescue, and later lots of exercise by running and hiking and weightlifting, which I loved. I had my heart broken when I was 20, but overcame this with college, computer programming, administration, and business management, plus working 2 jobs. I began event planning, probably got that from my mom, in the 70s. I married in the late 70s and had many adventures in travel to distant shores. I moved in the mid-80s from Texas, where I was in home design, event planning, and the furnishing art industry for over 6 years, to open my own company in California, where I expanded my business. I traveled to Tijuana weekly to a factory that was building my custom designs up until my 8th month of pregnancy. In 1989, after my daughter was born, I settled down and stopped the consuming traveling and the exhaustion, and I accepted a position with one of the largest plaintiff law firms in Southern California. I was immersed in the legal field for 15 years while my daughter grew up. I stayed busy with all of her activities, whether it be extracurricular or in school. And bless her heart, at age 10, she developed psoriasis, which led us to many dermatologists, but to no cure. Shortly after I obtained my Southern California realtor's license in 2004, and I was getting my realty business off the ground, I was convinced by my husband to leave the island life that I loved so much, to move to the desert of Nevada, where he had a business opportunity that unfortunately never culminated. I purchased a home and continued my event planning, my design and art gallery business. And in 2016, after much research, I began working with frequency healing modalities for my daughter's condition, and also offered this to my design clients during special events with other alternative healers. The universe then led me to quantum healing systems. I rushed to join without a thought in my mind other than, this is it, this is for me, and that was in early 2022. Now, my conditions include tinnitus after COVID, frontal head injury crashing through windshield, unconscious from concussion back of head, bad eyesight, broken nose, 2 unsuccessful surgeries, removal of tonsils, adenoids, wisdom teeth, and 1 tooth removal for making room for another tooth to come down as a child, 2 root canals from injured teeth, broken blood vessel in lower lip, fractured wrist, of course, cyst removal from both breasts, and 1 cyst removed from ovary. Also had my appendix removed without consent. Lastly, through BioScan, I was informed that there were multiple organ inflammations that I could add to the list of issues that I was unaware of. Now, I added a lot of health regimens to my daily routine, not only from the BioScan, but also for many health modalities, healing potentialities through the waves of wellness that quantum healing systems offer. Now, I almost forgot childbirth, episiotomy, and hemorrhoids. Now, I have not been to see a doctor in over 20 years, and I've always eaten healthy and exercised most of my life. However, implementing a ton of vitally important additions to my lifestyle has happened since I joined Quantum Healing Systems. I know that QHS is a gateway to total wellness in mind, body, and soul. And my intent here with Quantum Healing Systems is service to and healing of others in every way. I believe everything will be changing, and I am ready for it. I love you all, and I thank you for listening.
Join us on the Prequel, where every story matters and every voice is heard. Because here at QHS, we're all about healing, learning, and growing together.